Hey everybody, we are in day 169, our Bible reading plan, 1 Kings 4 through 6 and Proverbs 9, the second half. What do you think of the reading today? I felt like it was, might I say, without offending anyone, a little bit boring, but it's okay. Some days are exciting and some days you just wake up and do what you've done a million times before. And so maybe you'll love that. I don't mean to offend you. But anyway, the big idea today is this, and I'm going to explain to you where I've come up with it. But where you're going with God is never limited by where your story started. We're really focused on Solomon. And remember how his story started? I mean, the guy was born to parents who, for David, it was the epic event of his life that sort of tainted his reputation as a man of God. He still was a man after God's own heart, but it became his burden to bear. It caused the rift in his family and the breakdown of his kids' relationships and the death of Absalom and Amnon and the daughter's hurt. And it was because he had the affair with Bathsheba, and then he ended up being killed, the husband of Bathsheba. And then the baby died. And so that's the beginning. That's the story of Solomon. Imagine the parents trying to tell Solomon how they met. Not a good story. And yet it doesn't matter sort of where you started, it's where you're going. And to that effect, we're going to start noticing in the life of Solomon that he has everything given to him to succeed. And yet, while he does really well at the beginning, as we read his story, it's going to be harder and harder to see his evolution, his progression. And so in chapter 4, it sort of paints this really happy picture of the times that Judah and Israel were as many as the sand of the sea, I think it says in verse 20. And verse 29, God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding beyond measure and breadth of mind like the sand on the seashore. Wow. I mean, it says that he wrote verses and he surpassed the wisdom of all the people of the East and all the wisdom of Egypt. He also spoke 3,000 proverbs. His songs were 1,005. And again, I wish to say that he ended up being great to the end of his life, but one more generation and the kingdom would be divided. So again, he came from a difficult place. He's headed somewhere good, but then he blows it eventually. And we'll get to that later. I don't want to get ahead of myself. And so he prepares to build the temple. He uses the king of Tyre, Lebanon, south of Lebanon. Hiram, cedars of Lebanon, all that. And so we get into, again, the Lord loves to give us details and how the building was built. And so it's same with chapter 6. It keeps going. Verse 14, so Solomon built the house and finished it. We'll come back in Chronicles and read more about that. And so I think today, again, the challenge is God's given you today. Some of you have stories where you started like Solomon. Nobody wants to tell you how you came from. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're adopted or you're all sorts of stories. I don't want to conjecture, but maybe you've caused your own pain like David did. And the past is gone. Today's a new day. God's mercies are yours. And God is faithful. And he gives you all of the wisdom that you need. In James chapter 1, it says, ask for wisdom, he'll give it to you. But let's also pray that day by day, we continue to honor God in all the decisions that we make. And so kind of a basic reading today. All right, guys. Love you guys. See you again tomorrow.